Welcome to this Archon little game of Hot Lava, where we follow along with Bloodroot as he plays Riki and tries to carry his team. And this is part of the 3 replay analyses that I promised in my 1000 subscriber video. So 3 people get their replays analyzed. You're too late now to submit replays, but this is one of the 3 replays chosen. It's also going to be a game of Visage and one of Rubik. So usually I cover these micro heroes that use summons or creeps on this channel, but for these 3 games I just stuck with whatever heroes were suggested. And to be honest, I don't really know a lot about Riki. Like I know what his abilities do, but that's pretty much my extent of my knowledge about Riki. So right now he's trying to just posture here, see where they can get some of these runes, and in fact he's going to sneak around here and he's going to be spotted doing this, so he's not going to just be able to get this rune in peace. Axe actually skilled counter helix, which is really bad, so he probably could have gotten this rune if he tried, but at least doing this move allowed Grimstroke to get his rune in peace. So Witch Doctor probably warded there, and they jump on him right away, and that's like a good, nice engagement. And you're probably stronger here than 1, so it's nice to do some of this little trading, especially as Riki. You want to do trading because you have a lot of natural HP regen, so he's a hero that you want to just trade your HP against theirs and then get the advantage in the long term. Our Bloodroot here has started with just 3 Tanguish, just a single set, which makes a lot of sense. Gives you more stats at the start to be able to win the rune fight or win early game exchanges. But then you actually want to ferry yourself out some more Tanguish, because 3 Tanguish are not going to be enough for very long. They're enough for the first minute or 2, but then you need more, which is why you should be ferrying out Tanguish right now with the rune gold, but he's not, which might become a problem later on. So with all this region, Rick is actually one of the stronger heroes in lane, and you can also have some decent offensive potential with Blink Strike, especially combined with Inkswell. So they go on this Witch Doctor and actually get the kill here, so very nicely done. And the good coordination here together with that Grimstroke. And now it's just back to farming creeps. Wave is pushing in, so Grimstroke should already be moving towards pulling. And he might still be in time if he just continued running, but instead I think he's going to try to pull this camp, but I don't know what he's doing here. He's way too late on that, so it's not going to work. Also, this tree needs to be cut in advance. That's something as a carry you should always be cutting this tree if you have a Calling Blade, because your support is definitely going to want to walk through there, either for this pull or also just when you're being chased by the enemy, you can just run into the tower here. So while I was talking about that tree, there's some exchanges going on here, and Axe has a bracer here, which is a bit weird. No other items. So he goes on Riki, even though he doesn't actually have Berserker's Call yet, so don't know what Axe was thinking there, but nice reaction here from Riki and gets the kill. And now he's down to just a single set of tangos, so what he should be doing right now is he's actually ferrying tangos already, so that's fine. Definitely should be eating that tango now. Okay, he has. So that's good. Getting extra stats, getting that wand. So we're happy with those item choices so far, but I'm not happy with our CQ'd up here. That is just straight up queuing a Diffu Blade, and that's just bad. You always want shreds first. Diffu Blade is of course a strong item on Riki, but it's an expensive item and has a bad build up because Blades of Alacrity are not that efficient. So you want to have those other items first. You want Treads, you probably want a second Wraith Band, and then you can go for that Diffu Blade. Riki is doing some last hitting on a tower and doing a very good job of this, nicely prepping his creeps, hitting them once from the front and then waiting for the tower to hit them twice and then hitting again. That's how you do range creeps, as long as you don't have too much damage. He's a bit late on the bounty runes though, so Axe gonna get those. And he's ferrying himself out boots, which of course is an important item, and then also a mango. He's a bit low on mana, so having a mango there is nice. And eats that right away, which is, I guess, a fine choice because he has 6 other items. So, right now, he definitely should be queuing Treads. Treads is way more efficient than these Blades of Alacrity. Like, Treads gives you 10 of your attribute of choice. So it's 10 agi or 10 of any of the other attributes, allows you to Tread switch, and also gives you 25 attack speed. And the upgrade only costs 900 gold, which is less than Blade of Alacrity. So basically, Treads is like more than twice as good as Blades of Alacrity and costs less. So it's just never correct to go straight for Diffu here when you can go for Treads. And now he's gotten a Blade of Alacrity, which could have been the Treads, which would have made him so much stronger. He goes on Axe here, and it's important to go for these kind of chip damage. You're not going to be able to kill Axe from 100 to 0, but you can definitely do some damage on him, and you have much more regen than he does. Even with his Tranquil Boots, it's going to take a long time for the Tranquil Boots to actually kick in. So these are really good trades. You see Axe is still quite low here. So we're taking a look at the net worth chart here. See Riki is currently on top, but his other 2 lanes are not going so well. Goes once again onto the Axe, jumps in with a Blink Strike. I think you can just walk in there as well, but he has Battle Hanger now, needs to be able to get a last hit here, and he... okay, doesn't get it, but wears it anyway. So now he's a bit low, and now he's sort of in danger level. Now he can almost get stunked here, but uses his wand here efficiently, and Axe maybe trying to chase him, but no. With the Invis here, Axe doesn't have detection. But they also see a Shadow Fiend coming in here, and Shadow Fiend's gonna try to go for that kill, and Axe dies to Riki. So that's nice, but it would have been a lot easier to do these kind of plays with Treads. And also, like, if you're that low, you need to be shipping yourself out region. It's not good just to rely on this Shad Tango here and there. Like, you have a good amount of base region as well, but still, if you're that low, you can't really fight. And the thing about Riki is that the way you win the game is not through just passive farming. It's through being aggressive, through killing the enemy and just punishing them whenever they come to your lane at the start. And it's much harder to do that if you're this low. So bounty runes are about to come up. You need to kill the Screepwolf and then go to the runes. You need to be faster here, and no one is really going to the runes yet. And now they see, okay, it's 10 minutes. Oh, quick, get to the runes. Like, you need to have that on your radar. You need to think about that 20 seconds earlier and then be there in time, and then you get this rune very easily, and maybe even get a kill on that Axe. And you can honestly get both runes here if you had like this in the lane. And yes, you're gonna lose some creeps in the lane, but these runes are so important for your team. And if you're winning your lane, it's your job to secure those runes. So there's a bit of a pull going on here. Axe disrupts it, and they go on him, but in the meantime, a creep wave is hitting the tower. So they're trying for this Axe kill, and they do eventually get him. But they lost a whole wave for that, so that's really pretty much an even exchange. Okay, they're gonna get this range creep here. Honestly, use Blink Strike to secure that range creep. Blink Strike has a very low cooldown, especially since you're maxing it, which is the correct move here. That's the correct skill build. Blink Strike scales incredibly well. You have only 10-second recharge time, so it's completely fine just to use that to secure individual last hits. And now they're doing this little pull here. It's nice, securing some extra farm, and he gets a Pullman Shield, which is a really strong item here. Axe again tries to disrupt this pull. Witch Doctor uses his Maledict here, and you should still be hitting this Witch Doctor. He's just letting Grimstroke die here essentially, and only now he's going on the Witch Doctor. Yeah, it's not a good fight here. It's basically an even exchange. He gets the Witch Doctor here, has some struggles here. And honestly, let's look at all the items he has in the stash. If instead of those items in the stash, he had that Blade of Alacrity already delivered along with a Treads, he would have won that fight. They would have killed Witch Doctor without Grimstroke dying. And just when you're ahead like this in the lane, getting a 1-for-1 exchange on supports is not okay. You need to be doing better in those trades. And a big part of the reason why they're not doing better is this item build, this idea of just rushing for the Diffu Blade. So Diffu Blade is being delivered, of course pretty good timing here, but of course without the treads. And Courier is flying in a bit of a dangerous position here, and right now he is being stunned by, or aggroed by Berserker's Call. He's being stunned by the cask, and he's maledicted. So there's a lot of trouble, especially since Drinks for the Trade is on cooldown right now, and there's no really good target to jump to here. Like at this point, he can jump to, I think he should be jumping to the Grimstroke here, and then just run past, or you can also jump onto the Witch Doctor and then run to the right. Like this is not really a good fight anymore. You need to be getting away from that Maledict. So let's see what he does. And he just sort of stays there, wanders around aimlessly for a second or something, and gets stunned again, gets hit by the ultimate here, and he's going to dodge one of those Maledict instances, and he's very low right now, and he survives on like 5 HP, so pretty lucky escape here, but yeah, he does survive, and now he gets in there again. Like, what are you doing? Do you know that's the sentry here? You don't know that. And okay, his courier is currently returning to base, so he can't get a salve very quickly. So Witch Doctor wanders in here and has no detection. So as long as you click that, that's a pretty good thing to do. And you just take away most of Witch Doctor's HP and mana without doing anything here. But of course you have to play carefully here, and he should be shipping himself out a salve right now. He goes instead into the Witch Doctor here. We stuck around a little bit too long, so he gets the Witch Doctor kill, but now he has to be really careful. But I'm liking the way he's playing this on low HP, playing around that very nicely, but he shouldn't be on low HP. He should be delivering that salve. And now he's delivering treads, which of course is a great item, but you need that salve. So he just picked up a shovel from this creep camp, and he tries to dig for salve, but doesn't find it. So yeah, I mean that's a nice heads-up play, trying to get that salve there, but you really should be getting the guaranteed salve from your courier. And now he's still at low HP here, and he still can't fight here, and he's being gone on here. He's very low right now. He managed to dodge the Maledict, so he actually even gets the kill here on that support Ember Spirit here, but he gets killed, so that is a big problem. If you're ahead like this, you shouldn't be playing this this greedily and this riskily. You should definitely be getting that salve. Like if he had gotten the salve right away and the courier went back to base, he would have been salved up by now, and then he wouldn't have died here. So this is Riki's biggest power spike. You have your treads, you have your Diffu Blade. Now is when you want to seek some fight. And usually it's a good idea to go for that onto the off lane. If you're strong in the enemy carry, you go to his lane and push down that tier 1 tower, which is a fairly important tower. So that's a generally good move. Problem is you have no vision here, and it's night. You playing against a Slark who has full night vision, and this is an area where there's often going to be sentries. So they see Riki approaching here, and they try to go for this kill attempt, but it doesn't work, and Riki sort of tries to play his way out of this, and he manages to walk it off, but along comes Ursa, and Riki just jumps away here. So some good fight execution here, but just generally trying to go for that fight with only techies is not the best idea. But they get a kill here because stuck around here a bit too long on that support here, and that support Ember Spirit. So that's nice, got a nice duel onto Legion. But if you do these kind of moves, you want the Legion already to be there. And also it's a bit of a problem here that while they're 1 and 2 are having a really good game, Riki and Shadow Fiend are both quite farmed. They're both at the peak of their strength basically, but this Legion doesn't offer anything yet. All she has is Treads, Magic Wand and a Quelling Blade. Going for that Blink Dagger Rush, but honestly, who are you going to initiate on? You don't want to jump into an Ursa or into an Axe, so it's probably not the best game for Blink Dagger Rush. And just I don't like the fact that she has this completely empty inventory here. At least get something like a Windlace, maybe an Overvenom, some sort of item that can help you out a little bit. Maybe just even a Bracer would be fine. But having this these 3 empty inventory slots, you're going for this expensive item in the Blink Dagger, is not the best here. And honestly, I don't even think this is a Blink first game. Maybe Blade Mail first, maybe even going for a Vessel. Vessel is actually quite a strong item here, because you have that Slark healing himself up in his ultimate, you have a Witch Doctor with his healing, and you have Ursa going for Morbid Mask. So they get a kill here on that Ursa. They remove the Aegis. Shadow Fiend fails his ultimate, so Ursa is 1 against 3, but he's quite strong here, and that's not the best duel here. Like that wasn't even with Blink, but you can see that Blink is just getting good duels in this game is hard, and doing it with basically inventory is not going to be easy. So it's not just so much about the initiation; it's about just being able to actually win those duels. And Ember Spirit gets killed here again. So overall, still a reasonable fight, still a good fight, but yeah, you can see that Legion is struggling, and they actually give away some dual damage onto that Ursa. Riki once again playing the offlane, which is good. You want to force those lanes in, and Jennifer is doing a lot of jungling, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, especially if you go for this magic build. You want to be able to fight rather than not at the stage of the game, so you want to be down here with your team. But since Shadowfiend is up here jungling, it's difficult to make plays here. So after a lengthy pause, they're pushing this tower, and Shadowfiend is still not nearby. He's trying to defend the mid lane, which is reasonable. And it's also just like this lane is good to push because you have all the safety of all those mines to fall back on. So just hitting the tower, this seems good, but in the meantime the mid tower is also being pushed, and just the mid tower is the more valuable tower, so trading this bottom tower for the mid tower, that's not the best. Next item on the menu for Riki is going to be a Basher, which is a very strong item, pretty standard to go for that as Riki. Sees an Ember Spirit wandering around here, and with the Cloud he managed to get the kill. Nicely done. And in the meantime though, this Ursa is an Angry Bear and he's getting a kill. Actually got 2 kills there, so not the greatest exchange here. And now they're just sort of huddling behind their towers. They don't know where the enemy are. They could be farming this triangle here, or they could be anywhere else. So you have to sort of play it carefully. And if you're walking uphill like that, you should definitely have treads on strength, just for extra safety. So Ursa is still there, but he managed to walk it off. Because you don't know, there might be wards up here, there might be sentries. You just don't know. And if you're your team's most farmed hero, you have to be careful. You're basically the one who's going to have to carry this game. Shadowfiend is having a good game so far, but he's gone for this magic build, this Blink Dagger, Yule Scepter. He's not going to scale well into this game. So Riki is going to be the one who have to carry this game. And the thing about Riki is that he's not the best farmer. So the way you're going to have to carry this game is by playing aggressively, by taking objectives, by getting kills. not so much by split pushing here. He's going with this Ember Spirit, almost gets the kill, but Ember Spirit manages to ram the way, and now Riki's chasing. And this is too deep. You don't know anything about what's up here. You need to be more conscious about what happens when you run into a high ground but you don't have any vision. So he manages to dodge the jump from Slag and fights back a little bit, and then you need to get the hell out of here. He almost dies here, but manages to walk it off, and definitely should be being on strength threats when you are being chased like that. In the past, when those Agi still gave a little bit of movement speed, maybe you could have made an argument for staying on Agi threads, but now there's definitely strength threads. The fight's going on here. Almost got the Ursa here, and he should have jumped on that Witch Doctor a little bit earlier, but he does it eventually. So they get a fairly even exchange, I guess, which is okay. But let's talk a little bit more about that dive up to that high ground here. This is a support Ember. If you're committing this deep for a core Ember, maybe that's justifiable, but for a support Ember, that's just not a thing. Now, Kia does it again. He dives really deeply here. This is just support. Killing this doesn't really matter. And now he gets a well-deserved question mark here. He is the most farmed hero on his team, and he's just throwing away his lead here by going for these questionable dives onto a hard-to-kill support. Like if you go for a Witch Doctor or something like that, that's an easy to kill support. It's a quick kill, but Ember Spirit, once he gets out of the cloud, it's very difficult to chase him down, and chasing down so deep is just not worth it. Because like even if you get that kill, it's not that impactful. It's just a high risk low reward play, and this time here got punished pretty badly. So Ursa is farming this wave, and what is Legion Commander doing? Like she AFK or something? What are you doing? Okay, so Axe doesn't manage to hit his call. If he hit the call, that would have been that Riki, but now he does anyway, and now Legion runs away. Like I don't know what you're doing there. You have to engage with both heroes there, then maybe you get that kill on that Ursa, but like this obviously doesn't work. So that was a bit of a fail. I'm also of course blaming Legion here, but even so, if like you know that Legion's not coming, or then you need to back off there much earlier. Radiant team are pushing the top tower, and Shadow Fiend tries to come to defend here, goes for the kill on that Ursa and gets wrecked here. So that's not very good. So at this point you're behind definitely in the game. I think you just need to let this tower go, but they're going to go for this kill on someone. So at this point in the fight, they lost their techies and they killed this support Ember. So what do you do here? You know the enemy is up here. You know they're not all together, but you see that Slug is coming in a couple of seconds. What do you do? The answer is you just back off. You don't have your mid laner, and you traded the position 4s, I guess, and the enemy is on the high ground. They still have Witch Doctor ultimate up. They have everything available except for access spell, which have short cooldown. So you can just back off here. But they want to go onto this high ground, and Riki is going to jump in here. He gets maledicted right away because like you're walking up the high ground, they're going to see you first. So obviously they're going to get a jump on you, and he doesn't even get a kill on this Witch Doctor. He just gets Witch Doctor ulted, and he just dies, not accomplishing anything. Grimstrike is also going to die, and Legion Commander is able to slink away. That was just a horrendous fight. Now the enemy are pushing the top wave. They're pushing this mid tower. Riki respawns now, and what does he do? He TPs down to bottom. And this is honestly a game-ruining TP. This lane is already pushed in very far. It's down here. It takes a long time to walk all the way down here to that wave. And meanwhile, the enemy are in this area here. They're right outside the dire base, ready to push high ground at any moment. Maybe you can justify walking down here, but TPing down here is horrendous. So let's see what he does with it. So he walks down here and he keeps walking, he's still walking, and okay, he sees Witch Doctor TP down here. So that's, I guess, an objective they can go for and get that kill, which is nice and all, but it's just a Witch Doctor. So they get the kill, okay, nicely done, whatever, but now there's 50-second cooldown on that TP, and the enemy are engaging here onto their heroes. And if Riki is here, they can easily win this fight, but Riki's not here. And so Shadow Fiend is being gone on. He's going to die, and what does Riki do? I guess I can push this tower here, so like he hits the tower a couple of times, but Riki doesn't do the most power damage, so he runs back, and meanwhile the enemy is still at the gates, and now our boy Bloodroot farms an easy camp. Like, what even is this? Why are you farming an easy camp while the enemy is pushing high ground? I can understand pushing in that wave, split pushing, whatever, but why are you hitting this easy camp? Like, there's two possibilities you could do. Either you could run back, which honestly at this point would take longer than TPing, or we could keep hitting this wave and this tower and at least getting some objectives done. But like, this easy camp doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything. So that's just a complete waste of time here. Alright, so TP is back up, and Riki, okay, sees the Arcane rune, so it makes sense to get that. And now he's just gonna walk here. He could have also just TP'd because you have Arcane rune anyway, so we have shorter TP cooldown. But he's gonna walk, and by the time he's in here, Axe is gone a bit deep here, but he gets the kill, and Legion is being engaged on, and now finally Riki's in here, gets one kill, but it's only support and Slack. He's out of mana, and now at this stage of the game, you need to jump on this Witch Doctor. Like, Ursa is a much harder target. Witch Doctor, if you attack him, you might cancel his ultimate with your Basher. But as it is, he's just gonna run away, and he's dead anyway. He already had so much melodic damage on him, he was gonna die anyway. Maybe he can kill the Witch Doctor first, but he can't here, and it's also a... Oh, he has buyback, so he could be buying back, and that's exactly what he does, so good job there. And you want to try to defend those Raxes, because the enemy can't really push now that the Riki has bought back, but unfortunately it looks like no exit kills. So he sees the enemy, he doesn't know that there are sentries or anything like that here, but he gets this kill here, that's nice, but now you need to get out. The enemy know you're here, and I guess they don't have any detection. Well, they have dust here, so it's playing this a little bit too cavalierly here. You can't just run into these strong enemy heroes, and you know, getting that kill was already kind of cheeky, but he got away with it, and then you have to run back. Not just like stick around the general area, and because you can't kill any of these other heroes. So it's just risking your life for no reason. So now he knows they're doing Roshan, and he throws in a smoke screen, which I guess delays things by a very slight amount. And he gets Bounty Room, which is nice, but now you need to walk out of here. Like, walking here is risky. You need to walk here. Not like this, because this gets you killed against better players. Against players who are more aware and have more sentries. So Riki is pushing the top lane, which is a correct choice, but now the enemy hitting these racks, so need to TP there ASAP. So Axe jumps in here, and Riki similar TPing. Similar TP. He has TP available, and now comes the TP. And Axe was, I'm not sure what Axe was doing there. Kind of throwing his life away here. Yeah, so they're not punished for this late TP on Riki. And they managed to defend the high ground, and now they're in much better shape, but of course they're still far behind in net worth. And now Ursa comes in here, kind of randomly here, on his own, and also gets killed. He has the Aegis still, but just throwing it away. And again, like, if Witch Doctor is generating his ultimate like that, you need to jump on him. Unfortunately, no Blink Strike available here. But yeah, he shouldn't be able to freely channel his ultimates here. But yeah, this jump out here is reasonable, I guess. He gets the kill here, so that's a good pick off. Also, just bad positioning from Witch Doctor, and I don't like this smoke here. The Leeching Command actually wants to be hit in a duel, because then she does more damage with a Moment of Courage, and would do more damage with the Blade Mail if she'd activated it before the duel. So you want to save that smoke screen until the duel is almost over, and then when the duel, if the duel is not successful in killing him, he's at least going to be silenced and still and going to be missing. During the duel, it only really reduced the chance to hit the Legion, which is a bad thing most of the time. So save that smoke screen for after. Slag is doing some sort of goofy moves here, tries to kill Legion, doesn't get it. And now long range Blink Strike, very nice use of the cloud here, and then Legion Commander comes in for the duel. So nice coordination here between Legion and Riki. So that was a really good move here, and definitely something that's buying them a lot of time in this game. And now the lead is down to 12k, which of course still a lot, but it was at 15k a couple of minutes ago. Next item here going to be a Manta style. Could also go for a BKB, but Manta also makes a lot of sense because there's at least some stuff that goes through BKB. You have the Axe Call, you have Ursa's Abyssal Blade, as well as of course the damage that just comes out from naturally. And Manta is just generally a strong item on Riki. You can use it to dispel all of the stuff that Ember does. You can also dispel Battle Hunger, so it's a reasonable item. And speaking of reasonable items, Greater Fairy Fire is not like the best item you can get at tier 3, but it's decent and definitely better than the PMS. So initiation here on Witch Doctor, but he has a Ghost Scepter to save himself, and right now you should again try to jump on that Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is still alive, but now he gets killed, and Ember Spirit also has Ghost Scepter, so it's not easy to win these fights against all these Ghost Scepter targets. And yeah, this fight is not going too well for them so far, but Riki's still alive, and he tries to go for that axe, but axe was very tanky. But with the help of techies, they managed to bring down axe, but there's still this Ember Spirit support alive. So now at this stage of the game, you have 4 people dead on each team, but you have the carry here alive versus an Ember Spirit, who definitely should be looking to play aggressively here, should be trying to get a kill on that Ember Spirit, or at least like do something or push in the lane or something here, but he just sort of tries to look around here, maybe hoping that the Ember Spirit is farming this camp or something. So what he's doing now, he walks down to, where is he walking to? I'm not sure. I guess he picks up a Bounty Rune, and then he walks here, and what is he doing? You have 4 people dead, now 3 people dead. Only supports alive here. You should be pushing those waves, or you should be looking for kills. You should not be farming random jungle camps at this time. And now he's wandering back here, so he walked here, farmed a jungle camp, which doesn't matter, and then walked all the way back, wasting the entire time when the enemy team was dead. Getting nothing at all done. He tries to go for the kill on Witch Doctor here, but with the Ghost Scepter he can easily escape, and now he jumps in really deep. Everyone is alive again. Like, this move would have made sense 30 seconds ago, but now it doesn't make any sense, and he gets chased down here, tries to play his way out of it, but there's just so many heroes here, and he is going to die here. So now they're in really big trouble, and they have to rely on the techies as well as on the enemy team to screw up to defend the high ground. So now Riki is back, but by the time he respawns, his team have sustained some losses, and a whole lane is gone. And at this stage of the game, what do? And he decides he wants to go for Nullifier, which is a very reasonable choice. It's a great item against that Ghost Scepter, and this Ghost Scepter is really giving him a lot of trouble. He tries to go for the solo kills, but he just can't against Ghost Scepter. Here once again, Ember Spirit can just get out. We do get a duel here onto Ursa. So They get that kill, so that's really nice, and Axe now trying to desperately escape, and he also gets killed, so I'm not sure why they were here as two, so the enemy team also playing really sloppily. But yeah, this nullifier makes a lot of sense. What doesn't make too much sense is selling this Wraith Band for the Helm of Iron Will. Helm of Iron Will is not really much better than a Wraith Band. It's not even clear whether it's actually an item to prefer on Riki. So selling the Wraith Band for that isn't really an upgrade right now. And the problem with this is that it just commits you to going for this item. There's no other sensible item that this Helm of Iron Will builds into. It basically just builds into Nullifier, Crimson Guard, and Armlet, and these two items are just not a thing at this stage of the game for Riki. So the enemy now know that you're going for Helm of Iron Will, and also just means that you're not committed for this item. There's no real alternative here. Maybe at some later stage of the game you decide you want to have something else, or maybe you decide you want to have a rapier or something like that, which you can decide even after going for the relic. So they find this item with the Lich Doctor, and of course he saves himself with his Ghost Scepter, and Riki is getting very low here, but managed to survive here and get the kill here, and the entire team is here, and they're sort of trying to kill the enemy team as they arrive one by one, and Ember Spirit is also going to die, so really good fight here for our boys. And with Ursa now respawning, they're in pretty good shape still, because they're 5 against 2, so they should be pushing the middle lane, and that's what they're going to try. Of course, you don't know whether the enemy have buybacks here, so they're just pushing this lane. And as Riki here, it makes sense to go up here to see if there's someone there. That makes sense. And you need to protect those catapults. They go for Axe here, and this is like a really deep dive from the Shadow Fiend. That's not a good move here, and Legion is trying to back him up. So instead of pushing this tower when they had this 5-3 advantage, or 5-2, they just dived here. So we just push this tower and then they buy back. You can just back off. That's fine. But if you dive in here, then you can't really back off when they buy back. You're in too deep. You're committed too deep. So especially in a game like this, where you know you're behind in general, but you have a temporary advantage because enemy people are dead, you don't want these deep dives. You want to have these more disciplined pushes where you can still back off in case the enemy team buys back. So trying to desperately defend here. Shadow Fiend's still not up yet. And if you're fighting with numbers disadvantage, and you're also this far behind in gold, it's just really difficult to do anything here. He goes to the Witch Doctor, which is a correct choice, but he already has so many melting charges on him that he gets really low and he dies to this, and now this game is basically over. So biggest takeaway messages from this game: get treads before Diffu, don't go for these crazy dives onto supports and other low value targets. Going for the first attempt is fine, but if you're in enemy territory and you don't manage to get the kill right away, you need to back off. Especially if you're as far ahead as our boy Bloodroot was here in this game. And then just generally, if the enemy heroes are dead, you have an advantage, you need to use that time. Don't wander around aimlessly. You need to push those waves, take objectives, not just go farm random jungle camps. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, please share it with your friends and spread the word about this channel. Next up is going to be Visage and Rubik after that. And Obelisk Villing, I'll see you next time.